In today's video, I'll be sharing the 10 most amazing miracles of Jesus, Part 3. Welcome back to FTD Facts. I'm Sarah Carvalho, and today I'm really excited to be discussing the 10 most amazing miracles of Jesus, Part 3. Stick around all the way down to number 1 to learn of just some of the most miraculous things Jesus did. Also, don't forget to check out our videos for the most amazing miracles of Jesus, Part 1 and Part 2. Coming up at number 10, we have the healing of a centurion's servant. A centurion's servant whom his master valued highly was sick and about to pass. The centurion sent some elders of the Jews to ask him to heal the servant. They pleaded, "This man deserves to have you do this because he loves our nation and has built our synagogue." Jesus went with them. He was not far when the centurion sent friends to say to Jesus, "Lord, don't trouble yourself, for I do not deserve to have you come under my roof. That is why I did not consider myself worthy to come to you. But say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I myself am a man under authority with soldiers under me. I tell this one, 'Go,' and he goes, and that one, 'Come,' and he comes. I say to my servant, 'Do this,' and he does it." Jesus turned to the crowd following him and said, "I tell you, I have not found such a great faith even in Israel." The men who had been sent returned to the house and found the servant well. The next miracle is healing a withered hand. Jesus went into the synagogue, and a man with a shriveled hand was there. Some watched Jesus closely to see if he would heal on the Sabbath. Jesus said to the man with the shriveled hand, "Stand up," in front of everyone. Jesus asked everyone, "Which is lawful on the Sabbath, to do good or to do evil, to save life or to end it?" They remained silent. He looked at them in anger and deeply distressed at their stubborn hearts and said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He stretched it out, and his hand was completely restored. Up at number 8, we have healing a mute possessed man. A man who was demon possessed and could not talk was brought to Jesus. And when the demon was driven out, the man who had been mute spoke. The crowd was amazed and said, "Nothing like this has ever been seen in Israel." Our next miracle is the healing of a man born blind. Jesus saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" Neither. This happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him. As long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world. He spit on the ground, mixed mud with his saliva, and put it on the man's eyes. "Go," he told him, "wash in the pool of Siloam." The man went and washed, and he came home seeing. Our next miracle is the healing of a woman with an 18-year infirmity. On a Sabbath, Jesus was teaching in the synagogue. A woman crippled by a spirit for 18 years was bent over and could not straighten up. Jesus called her forward and said, "Woman, you are set free from your infirmity." Then he put his hands on her, and immediately she straightened up and praised God. Okay, and coming up at the halfway point in today's video, at number 5, we have the miracle of healing a man with dropsy or edema. One Sabbath, Jesus went to eat in the house of a prominent Pharisee. There in front of him was a man suffering from abnormal swelling of his body. Jesus asked the Pharisees and experts in the law, "Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath or not?" They remained silent. Taking hold of the man, he healed him and sent him on his way. Then he asked them, "If one of you has a child or an ox that falls into a well on the Sabbath day, will you not immediately pull it out?" And they had nothing to say. Our next miracle is the healing of a deaf man with a speech impediment. A man who was deaf and could hardly speak was brought to Jesus. The people begged Jesus to place his hand on him. Taking him away from the crowd, Jesus put his fingers into the man's ears. Then he spit on and touched the man's tongue. He looked up to heaven and with a deep sigh said to him, "Be opened." At this moment, the man's ears were opened, his tongue was loosened, and he began to speak plainly. Up at number 3, we have the miracle of healing 2 blind men. As Jesus walked, 2 blind men followed him, calling out, "Have mercy on us, Son of David." He asked them, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" "Yes, Lord," they replied. Then he touched their eyes and said, "According to your faith, let it be done to you." And their sight was restored. The next miracle is the healing of a woman with internal bleeding. There was a woman who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years. She had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors and had spent all the money she had. Yet instead of getting better, she only grew worse. When she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in a crowd and touched his cloak, believing, "If I touch his clothes, I will be healed." Immediately, her bleeding stopped and she was freed from the suffering. Jesus, realizing that power had gone out from him, turned around and asked, "Who touched my cloak?" "You see the people crowding against you," his disciples answered, "and yet you ask, 'Who touched me?'" The woman, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell at Jesus' feet. Trembling with fear, she told him the truth, and he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering." And all the way down at number 1, we have the miracle of healing a Gerasene possessed man. A possessed man came from the tombs to meet Jesus. This man lived in the tombs. He had often been chained hand and foot, but he tore the chains apart and broke the irons on his feet. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Night and day among the tombs he would cry out and cut himself with stones. He ran and fell on his knees in front of Jesus. He shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In God's name, do not torture me." Jesus had said to him, "Come out of this man, you impure spirit." Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion," he replied, "for we are many." A large herd of pigs was feeding on the nearby hillside. The demons begged Jesus, "Send us among the pigs. Allow us to go into them." He gave them permission, and the impure spirits left the man and went into the pigs. Suddenly, the entire herd, about 2,000 in number, rushed down the steep bank into the lake and were drowned. All right, friends, thanks for joining me for the 10 most amazing miracles of Jesus part 3. Now, I want to know from you which of Jesus's miracles of today's video was the most amazing for you. Let me know in the comments below. I highly recommend checking out our videos for part 1 and part 2 of the 10 most amazing miracles of Jesus series. Also, don't forget to give us a like on your way out and check me out on social media to see what I'm up to when I'm not in front of the camera. We'll catch you right here next time for more facts. Bye.